Welcome back to Entropia. This is Sturge with episode 22 of Profitable Mining in the Entropia Universe. Today, the long-awaited episode about mining amplifiers. This may end up turning into two episodes, actually, but one of the things that I noticed from episode 19 was there were a lot of questions about what the multiplier was when talking about claim size. And I realized, I'm just jumping right in here. I realized that one way to show that was to put the words on the screen versus just discussing it, because English isn't everyone's first language, and I do tend to speak fast, and I'm certain I have an accent of some sort to non-Western United States speakers. So that's the plan here, is to put the words on the screen so you can reference them later, and that way you can't misinterpret what I say using, just verbally as opposed to just seeing the words in print. So let's just do that. So let's recap. Episode 19, we talked about base claim size, and that is generated from the TT value of probes you use or universal ammo plus the Finder decay times a multiplier. And that multiplier can be anything from 1, 2, 3, or 4, etc., so on and so forth. 2 and 3 are the most likely, 1 being in that light green. It happens from time to time. 4, a lot less likely, and etc. Anything after 4, a lot less likely. That's why it's sort of orange tending in towards red. So that's just the base multiplier. Now we want to look at how a claim size is generated with an amplifier on. And so as to not make it confusing, we'll use the same format. Claim size with an amplifier is the TT value of the probes and universal ammo plus Finder decay plus amplifier decay times the multiplier, in that order. That's it. That's all there is to it. I've seen a lot of people answer the question in this way on the forums and other in other discussions on Twitch streams and videos and so forth, but I thought I'd put it into words to make it easier. This is what we have come to understand as the definition of base claim size and claim size with an amplifier. And that's it, which I think is pretty cool, right? And so now the next question is, what kind of detail do we need to look at in amplifier decay to learn more about what the claim sizes are going to start to look like? And that's the plan. Many of you may have gone to the Planet Calypso forums under the mining section in your search for knowledge to see this particular post by Actuma. And this was posted almost 4.5 years ago. Well, 4.5 years ago. And it's a good depiction of how mining amplifiers relate to each other based on efficiency. The problem with efficiency here is it doesn't work, because efficiency for a gun in Entropia Universe relates to the TT value of the loot you get, right? It's directly proportional, right? So we know that, but it doesn't work for mining amplifiers. So what does this graph tell us? Well, it tells us the relationship between particular types of amplifiers. So if there's the Terra versus the Calypso finders, the level 1s all the way down to level 13. There's a little bit of the D class, which is the Rocktropia stuff, but it doesn't show them all. And so I would say that some of this information is outdated as well. So take this with a grain of salt. I'm not bagging on Actuma's work here. I'm just saying this is just a relationship guide. The better way to look at the relationships and the decay of a finder is go to the wiki. Once you're over here at the wiki, we've just gone to Finder Amplifiers. You can see highlighted green on the top left. And what I'm going to do is I want to see very specific things. I want to see the number of uses available to me. And see, if you click in the top right corner of Configure Columns, you could check that box, and then you can go and check the boxes of the other columns to see what you want to see. In this case, I've checked uses, and that's the only one I want to see in addition, right? So it shows us now the decay value, the maximum TT value, and I'm just going to rearrange it for efficiency's sake here, and so we can see these numbers here. Now, like level 1 Finder Amplifier, 78 uses divided by 25 PEC. The decay is in PEC in this instance, as you can see at the bottom here, and then the max TT value is in PED, happens to be 312. So the information on uses here is incorrect. So you'll need to do some calculating on your own to learn how that decay is going to divide into the max TT value of the amplifier and how that's going to affect the number of uses. Also in the wiki, you can see on the far right, there's an effect for some particular amplifiers. So we see like the level 1 Finder Amplifier Achilles has an acceleration of 3%. The Terra Ampethina has a skill gain, mining 4%. Keep that in mind as well. That is going to be of value to you when you're going out and you're mining and you're saying, well, I want a particular effect to take place while I'm using an amplifier as well. And so now you have all of this information available to you on the wiki, and you can make a little bit more of an informed choice. But what I want to talk about lastly, like I said, was the size of the claim, how the decay is going to affect your claim size. So let's just do a basic example of how to get calculated mining claim while using an amplifier. And in this instance, I'm going to use an F105 and doing an ore drop. So 1 ped in probes. The decay on the F105 is 0.0205 ped, and the decay on the level 1 Finder amplifier is 0.25 ped. So the amped claim size is 1.2705 PED in this particular setup. So let's do ourselves a favor. Let's look at it, this particular setup, from the base and the multiplier. And in the base, if we take a multiplier of 1 times 1.0205, that's base without the amp, we get 1.0205, right? And then so on and so forth, 2.04, 3.06, 4.08. Those are the claim sizes you're going to see from the base. And you see those regularly. I think that's very normal. Here's what you would get on the right if you use the amp. And that's the amp with the multiplier, which is, it gives you just a tiny bit more, 25 pec more, right? So that's kind of interesting, 25, 50 pec, 75 pec, and then only in the multiplier times 4 does it push you into another mining claim size. And the reason I put these in here is because I want you to see that there comes a time when using an amp will push you into a different category of claim size, and that claim size may not be available in the resource that you're trying to hit, and therefore you'll get a different resource. That is one of the most important points about using an amplifier when you're mining. So now you have the numbers and you have an example. You'll just need to calculate that for whatever finder you're using and whatever amplifier you're using, and you should be able to get a pretty good feel for the claim sizes you're going to see. But one of the things I want to end on, one of the notes that I want to, and maybe that's the major take-home message about using an amplifier, is that the conventional, and maybe I'll call it the old school wisdom, was to just use an amp all the way through a mining run. Meaning, you start a mining run and you're going to drop that 312 drops you can with that level 1 Finder, and you're just going to go all the way through. When you know better, the old school wisdom means you're going to lose ped because there's no consistency in the hit rate. If you know the hit rate is only going to last, let's say 40 drops worth, or less than that, 12 drops worth, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, don't use an amplifier when the hit rate goes below 30. That's really, the old wisdom is says just keep doing it because it'll come out in the end. Or don't keep doing what the old school way of doing things. Do it more effectively, more efficiently. When the hit rate is above or is 30% or above, use an amplifier. If it drops below or significantly drops below, stop using it. And even more importantly, use an amplifier where you know you're going to get the resources with high or even higher markup than things you would normally hit, and the hit rate is high. Don't follow the old ways by just throwing your ped away because that's the conventional, that was the old school way of doing it. We don't change things around here. We just do it the old school way. Don't do that. Think for yourself. I'm telling you to think for yourself. Use Finder amplifiers when you can hit resources that have high markup, and you will be profitable when you are mining. And that's it for the excitement of episode 22. Probably come back with episode 23, and look at resource versus claim size. But it's enough fun for one day. So thank you all for watching and supporting and commenting on all these videos. It means a lot to me, and it helps me continue to produce better videos. So this is Sturge, signing off until next week. Ciao for now.